What is happening, guys? It's Spruce Goose here, and today I want to show you what I think is the best way to shut down the strong close offensive scheme. Now, I do realize this video is maybe a little bit late since strong close has been around for a couple months now, ever since Throne put out his ebook on it, but I'm still seeing strong close every single day, and I want to make sure you guys have a solid game plan to stop it. So first, we'll jump into practice mode, and I'll show you some of the fundamental setups that I use to stop strong close, and then we'll take a look at some gameplay footage from my last weekend league so you guys can see this actually works online. And as always, guys, if you end up enjoying the video, please like and subscribe because it helps me out a ton. But with that, let's go take a closer look at how to stop strong close. Alright guys, so we are in practice mode, and I'm in the 4-6 playbook on defense. You don't need to be in the 4-6 playbook, but you do need a playbook that has the formation nickel, 3-3-5 wide, and I'll put all those playbooks on the screen right now. Now, the reason I do the 4-6 playbook is I can come out in 3-3-5 and audible to 3-3-5 wide, and that lets me get 2 extra safeties on the field at the outside linebacker spots. So right here, those 2 outside linebackers, you can put safeties in, and then you just immediately audible to 3-3-5 wide, and now you've got extra safeties on the field. But we're not going to do that this video. We'll stay in 3-3-5 wide. In the middle right here, you're going to want your user, and typically that's going to be whoever has the most speed. Devin White actually has more speed than any of the Bucs safeties, so we're going to put him in there. But typically, you're going to want to put a safety in for your middle linebacker. There's going to be 2 setups I show you out of nickel 3-3-5 wide. The first one is going to be Mike Blitz 0. And on the offense, let's just start off in any random strong close play. It doesn't matter yet. But first I want to show you Mike Blitz 0. This is the user rush. Now, if you saw my video on gap shooting, you've already seen this user rush. But let's go ahead and show it again. So here is Mike Blitz 0. And we are going to press and shade over the top. We're going to shift our D-line to the side of the fullback and then slant them outside. So this is the setup, and we're going to take our user and kind of hover right here. And this is an amazing user rush if they don't block the fullback. Typically, the first play of the game, they're always sending people out. They're not expecting the user rush. And so I love to run this first play of the game and, get them with a sack, put them in like a 2nd and 17 to start the game. So I'm going to go ahead and hike the ball with these 2 controllers right here. So let's hike it and just look how easy it is. Just come straight in. And I feel like we didn't get a great jump on that one. But if you see, just the way the user rush works is there's just this giant gap that opens up. You are shooting straight up the middle, and the running back, the running back was even blocking, but he cannot come up and block you in time. The only way for him to counter that is to either block the tight end, block the fullback, or very quickly hit the fullback on that flat route. And actually, that flat route's even covered. So really, they have to either block the fullback or block the tight end. I'd say most of the time they will block the fullback because I feel like strong close really utilizes the tight end a lot on a lot of different routes. But basically, the threat of this user rush is going to force them to have to keep someone in the block, and then they can only send 4 people out. And that's where our second setup is going to come in, where we're just going to have a blanket coverage on the field and prevent them from finding anything open. So the second setup I want to show you guys, also have nickel 3-3-5 wide, is going to be cover 2 man. And make sure you have both Mike Blitz 0 and cover 2 man in your audibles so that you can just switch in between them pre-snap. Let's go ahead and just call any play out strong close. And here's cover 2 man right here. And the setup right here, we always want to make this look like it could be the user rush. So I'm going to press, and I actually shade underneath. We'll talk about that in a sec. But always shift the line to the side of the running back, and then take your user and kind of hover right here again. So now your opponent does not know, is it the user rush or is it something else? We are always going to shift the line after, so press, shift the line, and hover right here with our user. It looks like it could be the user rush or it could be something else. Always force them to keep an extra blocker in to guard against the potential user rush. Now, here's our cover 2 man. We already pressed, and I told you I shaded underneath. The reason I shaded underneath, and you guys probably already know this, is that because we have the 2 deep safeties helping out over the top, we can play more aggressively against the shorter routes. And so by shading underneath, your corners will guard out routes and in routes and slants and drags and all that much better than if you don't do any shading or if you shade over top. And if they get burnt deep, they have safeties to help out on those deep routes. So that's how we're going to shade underneath. Now, the other thing I like to do is I like to put my D end on the right side in a curl flat, and my linebacker on the left side also in a curl flat. And if you guys don't know these quick adjustments, if you just double tap left and right on the D-pad, you see how you can just select any defender and put them on an individual assignment. Also, I have a whole video on defensive adjustments. I'll link that in the description below if you want to see more in detail on that. But that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just doing quick adjustments to put these guys on these assignments. These curl flats should be in 20-yard drops. I don't think I actually did that in the coaching adjustments, but make sure you have your curl flat set to 20-yard depth drops. And the only other thing we're going to do is we're going to put our user on a blitz. That just lets you have a lot more mobility and better change of direction in the field while you're lurking around. And if the halfback is sent out on a route, we're going to follow the halfback. If he doesn't go on a route, we're just going to kind of lurk in the middle of the field. And I'm just going to go ahead and hike it and just kind of lurk, just kind of look for anything that might be open. And we get this really good blanket coverage. Now, maybe this play is not the best representation. I know someone probably doesn't run that play completely stock, but it doesn't really matter too much what the play is. This setup, we're dropping 9 people back in coverage. We're only rushing 2. So, if it's a very mobile quarterback, you might want to take someone and put them on a spy, because the quarterback might try to run outside the pocket. But this is a complete blanket coverage across the entire field from the exact same setup that we can user rush out of. And that's why this is so powerful, is because it always has the threat of the user rush. They have to block someone extra, and then they only send out 4. And when we're dropping 9 people back to cover 4 people, everything's going to be covered. And so those are the 2 setups. It's pretty simple, guys. The Mike Blitz 0 and the cover 2 man with the curl flats at 20-yard drops. That is going to stop about 90% of strong close users, as simple as it is. Now, also a very important thing before we go on to more nuanced stuff, if you are in Mike Blitz 0 and you see your opponent motion over the wide receiver from the right side, you need to switch to cover 2 man. And let's show you why right now. So let's go ahead on offense and let's go to the play PA deep. If you guys know strong close, you know the play PA deep. This play alone, this play is just such a man killer. So PA deep, let's come out in Mike Blitz 0. Let's say we decide we want to user rush. We do the whole setup. We're right here, ready for our user rush. Whoa, let's try that again. So press straight over the top, we slide, and so there we go. There's the setup, and we are here in our user rush, and we want to, hopefully come in and sack the quarterback. But your opponent is in PA deep, and let's say he goes ahead and blocks both running backs, and so he's gonna block the user rush. And then if you see him motion over this wide receiver, this route on PA deep, guys, this is like the best man beating route in the game. It gets over top any coverage, and if it's a fast receiver, it's a free touchdown if it's a fast receiver. And so if you see that wide receiver get motioned over to the other side of the quarterback, you need to get in cover 2 man. You need a deep blue on that side. And so if I came out in let's start. I'm on the wrong controller. If you come out in Mike Blitz 0 and you do your whole Mike Blitz 0 setup, the moment you see the motion, you need to get into the cover 2 man setup. And it requires some fast fingers because you have to audible, press, shade underneath, and then do your curl flats. So I'm going to try and do it right now just to show you guys how quick it has to be. And with 2 controllers, this will be pretty interesting. But you see the motion, so you audible, press shade underneath, curl flat, and then they hike it. And I guess I can't really show you guys if we got all the adjustments off in time. But it looks like we've got pretty good blanket coverage. And sometimes you don't get all the adjustments off. But, oh wow, Mahomes is breaking all kinds of tackles. Mahomes just broke a sack from Vita Vea. Wow, that was kind of glitchy. Vita Vea had 2 sacks broken. Anyway, Mahomes is just cracked in this game. But it has to be really quick. And if you're not comfortable making the adjustments that quick, then you definitely want to only very occasionally come out in Mike Blitz 0. Did I get the curl flat? I think I got the curl flat off in time. That is the most important thing, guys, is do not be in Mike Blitz 0 if your opponent is motioning over the wide receiver to the other side, because they're running a man-beating route, and it will beat you deep even if you shade over the top. So that is the number one thing. Always be prepared to quickly audible into cover 2 man, because you cannot let this route beat you. If you look right here, the route, it beat him over the top again, but because we have this deep blue here, we shut down that man-beating route. And typically, when they run something like that, they're going all or nothing on this route coming open. So as long as you get that cover 2 man audible off in time, you're going to probably shut them down, and then they've got to find something else on the field. So like I said, guys, those two setups alone seem to stop most of the strong close users online. Now, if someone is really good and knows what they're doing, obviously some universal setups are not going to work every time, and that's where you need to be comfortable with individual defensive adjustments. So for example, if they're setting the fullback out on a flat every time, you need to be comfortable taking your outside linebacker and putting him on a hard flat to guard the flat on that side. Same thing with the running back. If the running back's going on a flat to the left, you need to be able to take your guy and put him on a hard flat to the left side. If your opponent's running back is doing option routes or just curl routes in the middle, you need to maybe take a D end and put him on a bluff blitz to get that 3-rec to sit in the middle. The 3-rec, it's a yellow that has a little bit of man matching in the middle of the field. And so it's tough for me to say what specific setup you guys need to do, because against a truly good strong close player, they're going to put all kinds of weird routes on the field, and there's no universal setup that will truly work. The two main principles are knowing the Mike Blitz 0 blitz and the cover 2 man setup if they motion the wide receiver over. Now let's say they motion the wide receiver over, but then they're taking their tight end maybe on a deep corner route. What you could do is you could take your safety on the right side and put him in like a curl flat or something. And that should be at a 20 or 25 yard curl flat. You don't maybe need the deep blue on the right side because they're motioning the wide receiver over to the left, and you know that typically that man beating route is going deep to the left. Now there are post routes that come from the left to the right, and so you need to be mindful of that with your user. If you're going to not have the deep blue over there, you need to kind of on the snap kind of be hovering back here, and if it is a post route going to that deep right, you need to go ahead and user that. But that's why it's like, beyond those two setups, I can't tell you exactly what else to do. You need to be comfortable making individual defensive adjustments based on your opponent's tendencies. But at the end of the day, most of what you want to do to beat strong close is mix in the user rush with that cover 2 man setup, and that alone is going to stop almost all these guys. And right now, I want to show you guys some gameplay footage from different games I played in Weekend League to show you that these two setups can work extremely well at stopping almost any strong close offense. So let's go take a look at those right now. All right, guys, so here's the first gameplay footage, and everything I show you is either from this Weekend League or last Weekend League. So this guy came out first play of the game in strong close. I actually didn't go with the Mike Blitz 0. I was just feeling a little bit conservative, so let's just do cover 2 man. Did not get the curl flats off because he quick snapped me. He actually did a tight end delay fade, which I don't see very often out of strong close, but it got him some good yards, and I said, okay, that's fine, whatever. It's all about learning what your opponent likes doing and adapting accordingly. And so the next time we come out, he does the motion over. We get in the cover 2 man setup, and this time we have complete blanket coverage, guys. If I want to pause it right here, look at the coverage. He sent 5 people out, and everything is bagged. There's nothing open. Really, his best play right here is to scramble with the quarterback. But yeah, is he going to do that? Yeah, he is going to move around a little bit. And he found a guy, but we were able to get in there with our user and fortunately knock it away. So on 2nd and 10, I think he's going to go back to like the same kind of setup. I think he's going to motion the wide receiver over again, and we're going to make sure we have those curl flats on. And so right here, I just started off, again, in the cover 2 man setup. I was anticipating the wide receiver motion and said, why bother doing all those adjustments really quick? We know he's going to motion him over. Let's go ahead and just set it up from the start. And right here again, you saw he just threw it, but guys, everything is bagged. Everything is completely locked up. And I don't know if he's throwing to the running back or the tight end right there, but either way, our curl flat is just sitting right there, and we pick it off, and we're going to take off. I think we're going to put a little stop and go on there. Yep, a little stop and go on him, and we take it for a touchdown. And so you guys can see how great that blanket coverage is of that cover 2 man setup with the 2 curl flats. I think he quits already on 30 seconds in. I think he quit already. Now, I don't want that to be the only example, so let's look at several more examples right now. All right, guys, so here's example 2, and this guy's in 2nd and 14. He actually took a delay of game on his previous play. He was motioning the receiver over, so I came out and covered 2 man, already knowing he was going to be motioning the receiver over. And right here, once again, I just want to show you guys how great this coverage is. Now, he kind of sees this tight end right here. He says, maybe I can fit in that window. He's going to try and throw it, but it's not open. It's bagged. We had 2 different guys who could have made plays on it. So the cover 2 setup, again, is just really, really great. Blanket coverage across the board. Now, 3rd and 14, he was sending all the receivers out. I'm going to go ahead and do the Mike Blitz 0 user rush because he needs a first down. He needs to send people out, and he needs time. And so we're going to hit him with the user rush right here. And even though he blocked both running backs, we came in and brought him down the backfield. And now it's 4th and 20. He's, of course, going to punt it, I assume. He goes for it? Oh, he goes for it. Okay, I must be mixing up my examples, but he goes for it. And what I would expect is that I would just automatically go to the cover 2 man setup. Let's see what I do, though, if I show my play art. Yeah, we're going to go automatically to the cover 2 man setup. There's no point in playing super risky. It's 4th and 20. Let's make him find something open. And, just right here, I mean, so he blocked his running backs. He only sent 2 people out. I mean, again, this is maybe not the best example of someone running a highly skilled, strong, close offense, but at the same time, I mean, these are weekend league games, guys. These are weekend league games. These are not just me, finding the total scrubs. This is what Madden's given me in weekend league. So I really do think that this system that I'm showing you guys can work really well. But let's jump ahead to another example anyway. So I can give you guys just lots of weekend league examples. These are all weekend league examples. Let's jump ahead to the 3rd one, because I think that guy is probably the most skilled, strong, close player that I've encountered recently. All right, guys, so here's example 3. This is actually the very next game after the one I just showed you. He comes out in strong close. We come out in nickel 3-3-5 regular and audible to 3-3-5 wide. I do Mike Blitz 0, and he actually throws it really fast. You saw we were going to get in there. He threw it immediately. I think kind of risky from him. I'm okay with that because I think that if he wants to keep doing that, we'll eventually pick it off. But 2nd and 1, I'm in Mike Blitz 0 again, and this was on me. He quick snapped me. The user rush would have been there, but he quick snapped me. I was just not expecting him to quick snap it that fast. If you look, I mean, the user rush is there. If I had just come straight in on the snap, we sack him. But it just caught me off guard, and I said, oh, I'm too late. I got to go try and user. And he hit the fullback in the flat for a solid gain. So good job by him to be quick snapping me. That's something you have to be prepared for. But we're going to adjust. We're going to start clamping down. I'm assuming, again, in Mike Blitz 0. And there we go. That time, we did get picked up by the running back, but it was so close to the quarterback that we were able to get the sack animation anyway. Now, because he just saw the user rush, I'm going to switch to cover 2 man now. Because he's blocking. I actually didn't block it up, but we switched to cover 2 man and it worked out anyway. Typically, guys, if you get a successful user rush, they will be expecting it the next play and block it up. Now, in this case, if you remember, he hit the running back in the flat against Mike Blitz 0 a couple plays ago. And again, assuming I was in Mike Blitz 0, he was trying to get out to the flat, but because we're in cover 2 man, our man assignment's on that side. And so, it looks like they did a man switch, but it was completely bagged. So now he's in 3rd and 16. Let's jump ahead a little bit. And on 3rd and 16, I think I should just do cover 2 man. Let's see what I do. It looks like if I show my player, yeah. So we're just gonna do the cover 2 man setup again. No point in risking it. He went with the quick pass again, and it's just not there. So you guys can see just flipping between those 2 setups, the Mike Blitz 0 and the cover 2 man. It can really bag people. But let's check out one more drive from him. Because I think he's going to put together a better drive in just a minute. So let's check that out. All right, guys, so this is the 2nd drive out of strong close from my opponent. And he's going to start kind of moving the ball a little bit. So right here, I'm in Mike Blitz 0 again. And he's going to actually block it up. This time his running back picks it up, and he hits a quick slant across the middle. And so we're going to have to start just adjusting accordingly because he finally did get his blocking figured out so that he can actually pick it up. That got him to the 38-yard line. Let's jump ahead a little bit. And I'm now in the cover 2 setup. And this time, he hit the flat. And I was kind of disappointed that was open because with the setup, I've got Taylor Mays right here in man coverage on the fullback. So I was kind of like not sure why. Oh, my stuff glitched out. But, I wasn't mad at my setup. I felt like I set it up properly. And just for every reason, Taylor Mays did not get out there. It looks like they tried to switch assignments, and the switch just never actually happened in time. I'm not sure why that is, but I'm not too worried about it. If it was to keep happening, I would maybe start hard flatting instead of putting him in man. But I was like, whatever, let's just keep trying it out. Now, I did not get the curl flat off on the left side, and you can see he took advantage of that. If you see, I'm going to get the curl flat off on the right side. Right there, you can see the curl flat. And maybe I thought I got it off on the left side and just never did. But you can see that by missing that adjustment, he's going to take advantage of that and throw exactly to where that curl flat would have been playing, and get down to the 3-yard line. So now we really have to clamp up. And I'm going to go to, I believe, Mike Blitz 0 right here. And he has not been blocking very well. He did block it once, but I'm going to use a rush again. I think I get in there. Yeah, we get in there. Because he just does not want to block very often. He wants to send everybody out, so we have to make him pay. Now, 2nd and goal. Looks like when Mike Blitz 0 again, I'm staying pretty aggressive. And this time, so we almost made a play on that. And right here, this is a setup that I don't think I talked about before, and I don't think we can see it. But what I did is I actually took my 2 outside linebackers and put them into curl flats, is what I believe happened. If you watch Taylor Mays right here, I think he drops to the outside. Yep, so he's not in man coverage. He's just dropping in a curl flat. This is the man assignment right there, in the event that he had, done some kind of Texas route or something. But that's something I like to do sometimes, is just take those outside linebackers and put them in the curl flats, but typically only in the red zone. They don't get back super far. So if you're doing it in the middle of the field and you put your guys down at the line into curl flats, expecting them to get 20 or 25 yard depth on their drops, they will not get back as far as you think, which is why I typically only do this around the goal line. But as you can see right here, we had pretty good coverage, and we almost got an interception on that one. But now it is 3rd and goal, and I'm probably going to do the same setup again. Yeah, so for just a second, we're able to see the setup right there. Again, we're in Mike Blitz 0, but we're actually taking our outside linebackers, putting them into curl flats, and I believe we're going to bag him again, or at least keep him out of the end zone, which is the most important thing right here. And so right there, great play. Again, probably should have clicked on and gotten the pick, but if you guys see right here, this is just something that I'm trying to get better at as well, is we use her long enough to take away the routes that he wants and then immediately transition into rushing the quarterback. Don't give him any chance of possibly running for the touchdown. He tried to make a solid play. It almost worked out for him. He playmakered his running back and then threw it. But we made a hell of a play and kept him out of the end zone. And so 2 drives, only 3 points. I'll take it. And if you saw, one of his biggest plays on the drive was when we forgot to put a curl flat on the field that otherwise would have bagged it. So I won't say that this will work 100% of the time, guys. And obviously, if you go against a really high-level, strong, close player, they will have other ways to beat this. They're going to, like I said, they're going to throw the flats a lot, and you need to start putting some hard flats on the field. You're going to need to get really comfortable putting your safeties on different adjustments and adjusting your depth drops in between plays based on what your opponent is finding open. And so there is no one-size-fits-all, but the setup I showed you guys, the Mike Blitz 0 and the cover 2 man with the curl flats, it's going to bag most of strong close. So, I don't know, try it out in a game. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's going to work pretty well for you guys. But if you learned something or if you enjoyed the video, again, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me out tremendously. What am I doing on offense? I'm just running the ball out of I-form tight, apparently. Doesn't matter. Like I said, guys, if you can hit the like and subscribe button, it helps me out a ton. Let me know in the comments what kind of videos you guys want to see in the future, and let me know if this was helpful. I really hope it is. If you see strong close, hopefully you'll never, ever be afraid of it ever again. But as always, guys, have a great one. And how about that for a little bonus touchdown to end the video? On that note, guys, have a great one. Have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care, guys.